Alright guys, so in a previous video we just did the PCM replace on this Jeep. Told you I had a Toyota to look at, and here it is, an 05 Sienna van, a little dusty. It's a crank, no start. I've already checked it out. It does have spark and it does have injector pulse. It does not sound normal to me when it cranks, so we've set up a current clamp on the ignition coil that I know that works, and we set up the other one on the battery cable. So we're going to do a relative compression test. I've got the Pico set up here, and I think we're going to find out pretty quick what the problem is. Let's see here, refresh our screen. Go ahead and hold it to the floor and crank it. That's good. So you guys can hear that crank, and it doesn't sound 100% right. You can hear it kind of, you know, woofing, I guess, for lack of a better term. So we're going to go ahead and pause this. When I initially cranked this vehicle, this is the reason I jumped right into this test. So let me see if I can do this one-handed. We'll zoom right in on that. And any of you that are familiar with your relative compression tests, we can see we have a major problem already. So here's our current for whatever cylinder that is, third one back on the front. And typically as the starter's drawing current, it's coming up on a compression stroke, and we should see our spark occurring just slightly before the peak of this hump. The other major problem that we see here is we only have 3 events happening between the spark event of this cylinder, where indeed we should have 6 events, you know, wherever the firing order is, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it starts over again with, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but we only have 3 events. So I guess long story short, this engine has, you know, a mechanical timing failure. It is a belt drive engine. What the problem is, we don't know, but we do know that the spark is not occurring at the right time, and that we only have 3 compression strokes, I guess, if you will. The thing that I have noticed is that if we look at our values, this starter is drawing about 250 amps. So these 3 compression humps, I guess, if you will, could be more than one cylinder coming to top dead center at a time. You know, let's say our timing belt is broke, which I guess we could probably pull that cover back real quick and have a look. But it is interesting, though, that we still have spark and injector pulse. But I just want to share with you guys that the relative compression test that we did, completely non-invasive, and can make a call just based on that. All right, folks, so that's it. Hopefully you understand, or understood rather, what we did there on the Sienna using that relative compression test. Now, if you haven't, we have lots of videos on that. I believe Keith over at New Level's done lots of videos. There's lots of videos all over the internet. Scanner Danner, everybody, you know, who practices scope usage, I guess, utilizes that relative compression test. It's a very quick way to determine, you know, state of health of the engine. Do I got all 6 cylinders? Are they all relative to each other in the amount of amperage that they pull from the starter? In this case, you know, it was pretty evident there's some, you know, major timing issues. He already looked up the price of a used engine. These engines are so cheap for these vans, he's probably not even going to pull the timing covers to proceed with it and see, you know, did it whack the valves? You know, it's just not worth it. I told him when he gets that engine out, if you would take the covers off, take some pictures of it, just so we can kind of take our scope pattern and put it to, you know, the nuts and bolts part of it, and see, yes, it's, you know, this far off, or, you know, the belt's missing a bunch of teeth. So if I ever get those, I'll post them up here on the YouTube for you so you can see them and whatnot. In the meantime, go down, click subscribe so you don't miss videos like that, ring the bell, all that business. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.